By the way, I was watching some basketball last night, and I was watching Golden State because these are really important games. Phoenix and Golden State. Houston's playing really well. Denver lost to the Suns last night, and I'm watching Golden State. So they're just starting against Orlando. And all of a sudden, this happens.
On the other side, Draymond is chasing the officials to the middle of the floor. And at some point, somebody's going to come in. Oh, he threw him out. He did it. I'm glad we didn't go to break. Ray Acosta, not here for it. Hit the road, Jack.
So that's courtesy of the game in Orlando. Draymond got thrown out. What was the score, 6-4, something like that? And you see Steph Curry really emotional with this. Like he's despondent. He's upset. He pulls his jersey over his face. It looks like he's wiping away tears. And then Steph Curry was asked about Draymond getting ejected.
What did you think of the Draymond ejection?
All I said is we need him. He knows that. We all know that. So whatever it takes to keep him on the floor, he'll be available. That's what's got to happen, especially at this point in the year. So it's a tough way to start the game.
I don't know if it's Steph's responsibility to keep Draymond on the floor. They created this monster, and now they have to live with this monster. This is on Steve Kerr. They've enabled Draymond. You know, Draymond can act like a fool sometimes on the floor. I mean, he's a wonderful basketball player when he wants to be, or at least he used to be, and he's really a high basketball IQ. I just don't know why he can't all of a sudden get in these moments and go, Draymond, no, don't. But he can't. But really, during the regular season, how often do we talk about Draymond Green? Only when he does something like this. Maybe in the postseason, when he plays well, we've talked about him. In the Boston series, I thought he was, out of control, and then he finally started to play like Draymond Green. He's going to be a future Hall of Famer. At some point, it's on Draymond Green. The Warriors created this. Now, all of a sudden, you can't go, Draymond. When he's playing well, you put up with this. I mean, go back to when he punched Jordan Poole. How many players, coaches, assistant coaches, trainers, anybody ran to Draymond Green and grabbed him as if to say, what did you just do? No one did. No one. I mean, look at Steph Curry there. He's just like, all right. As if Jordan had it coming and no big deal here. And that affected the Golden State Warriors last year. But you can't sit here and go, oh, my God. Like, I'm not surprised when Draymond does this stuff. But it's unfortunate because now they did win the game because it's Steph Curry. But they're not good enough. They just can't turn it on and off the way they used to. I mean, it's a dynasty that is holding on by its fingertips here. Are they dangerous? Yeah. Sometimes they're dangerous to themselves. But you're watching that and you just go, does anybody say to Draymond, you got to stop this? Can they keep him next year? I don't know how easy it would be to move on from it. And there's teams that would probably want him. Like you could put him in Miami. You could put him with the Phoenix Suns. Like he's going to give you something. It's just you got to be ready. And you have to have somebody who is going to monitor him. It just feels like Draymond is being, hey, that's just Draymond being Draymond. Yes, when he plays well, there's a sliding scale. Hey, man, you're a lot of trouble. You're worth it. And then all of a sudden, you're a lot of trouble. You're not worth it. And do you want to sign up? I mean, what's Golden State do? And Steph is an older basketball player. He looks young. He's not. Klay Thompson's not the same. Now, they do have some reserves. They survived the James Wiseman bad pick. But now you look at the future there. Steve Kerr signed up for a few more years. But they're not as threatening. Can they win back-to-back games in the playoffs? If they're in the play-in game. I guess because of Steph, and that's it. But watching last night, and I'm going, you got to be kidding me. It's 6-4. Like, you get tangled up, and you got your arm around somebody's neck, and I go, 96-94, not 6-4. But that's what we saw last night. Also, there was a moment with the 76ers. Kelly Oubre, the Sixers forward, he got tossed last night, and he was pointing at officials saying basically, bleep you, bleep you, bleep you. And then he was asked about it afterwards.
Now trying to put you in that spot. How do you try to break down and digest the last few minutes of that game?
Well, first and foremost, heat of the moment. This is an intense basketball game, of course. And, we're not perfect. The refs aren't perfect. I want to apologize for just losing my cool, because that's something I try to work on each and every day and try to represent God in the best way I possibly can, and that wasn't it. So, I just asked for forgiveness. But I saw Coach Nurse getting riled up, and if our coach is going to fight for us and, he's going there, then I'm right behind him. So, but at the end of the day, it wasn't cool. So, I'll take whatever penalties come with that, and, you have to move on. But I got to be better in a sense.
Now, he's 6 years younger than Draymond Green, but he certainly sounds like, hey, I made a mistake in the moment. I apologize. Draymond's never done that and never will do that. Clippers beat the Sixers 108-107, but it was one of those moments where you're going, somebody better grab a hold of Kelly Oubre, because this is going to be a larger fine than he expects. But maybe he's doing some damage control there by apologizing, and nobody's perfect, and the officials and all of those things.